The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Glory to you, O Lord. Jesus told his disciples a parable. Can a blind person guide a blind person? Will not both fall into a pit? No disciple is superior to the teacher, but when fully trained, every disciple will be like his teacher. Why do you notice the splinter in your brother's eye, but do not perceive the wooden beam in your own eye? How can you say to your brother, "Brother, let me remove the splinter from your eye," when you do not even notice the wooden beam in your own eye? You hypocrite, remove the wooden beam from your eye first. Then you will see clearly to remove the splinter in your brother's eye. The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. Please be seated for the reflection on the Scriptures. Well, I can tell you that our Gospel today gives us a great example of what it means to recognize our own need to grow, our own need to improve, our own need to be more like Jesus. When Jesus says, we can't say to our neighbor, "Let me remove the splinter in your eye." So if somebody gets like a little speck of something in their eye, if you've ever had that happen and you're leaning back and your mom and dad might put some saline water in it or something to kind of help it get out of there so that it's not hurting. It might be very small, but it really kind of gets in there and it hurts. Jesus is using the example of a splinter compared to the example of a wooden beam. So if you think of a 2x4 in your eye, that's very obvious, and it's much bigger and much more in need of removal probably than that splinter. Now, they would both be problematic, but Jesus' point is to say, first seek to be more like Christ, and in being more like Christ, removing that beam from your own eye so that you might help another. You might help to teach another, probably more by your own example. The first reading, St. Paul talks about preparing for a race. An athlete prepares, practices. A student studies and gets ready for the test. Not only for the test that's going to be handed out and graded, but for the knowledge that you carry with you from test to test to test. And as you know, you go from grade to grade to grade. From kindergarten to first, first to second, second to third, third to fourth, fourth to fifth, fifth to sixth, sixth to seventh, and on to eighth, and on to high school, and on to college. Running this race, being part of the process of growing as a disciple of Jesus, is so important. We will never be greater than Jesus. Jesus has already won the race. But if we imitate him, if we follow his direction, if we receive the grace of his life in ours, we will continue to grow to be like him. We will continue to teach others by our actions, by doing what is good, what is right, and what is holy. It is such a blessing for me to be able to be with you this morning at Mass and with those watching on television. May God bless all of you. May God bless all of us to grow in the imitation of Christ, to run the race, and to win his victory.